What's up, guys? So today I want to show a specific list that you could pull on DealSauce. And then the people that be interested in this list, either A, want to buy co-living properties, or B, you want to wholesale to buyers and make a pretty nice assignment fee. So here I have Orlando, uh, Osceola County, which like essentially encompasses Orlando and outskirts, and then Kissimmee. And the reason I picked this is we already own properties throughout it. And then when you look at PadSplit, the data that they provide, there's a lot of demand. There's a lot of there's a good amount of existing properties where we can look at um, benchmarks and have enough data that we can underwrite potential properties and feel good about the decision. And so here's the filters that I recommend. Um, and again, this list Uh, they're all on market, and ultimately, this is an email marketing list that we can hit and send offers. And so I'm showing this because I really want to buy here. So I'm hoping that some people will watch this and they can find properties and I can buy them and bring an assignment fee. So anyway, I'm going to show the filter criteria. A couple of things you can see at the moment we have 2,400, almost 2,500 candidates. And so we're going to see if we could trim this just a little bit. And so you'll see here, I have active listing, single family, multifamily. I don't have condo or townhouse on here because they'll have HOAs. Um, Single family and multi could still have HOA. Uh, at the moment, there isn't a setting to exclude HOA, but I'm sure they'll add it in the near future. So 60 days on market, and then I don't want to go over 600,000. Um, the numbers, the underwriting, it just doesn't really pan out once we get in those higher price homes. So as a as I mentioned, 2,500. I want to get the list down though a little bit. So I'm going to do instead of 60 days on market, we're going to look for a little longer because these people they've been trying to sell a while and they're pretty motivated. All right, so 120 days, and then let's see how many that brings us. So we're at 2,000. Sometimes I'll include pending because a lot of those aren't actually going to, close. But for the sake of trimming our list down, I'm going to exclude it. Right. So we're active listings. I don't know why it's on there twice, but that's okay. Single family, multifamily, 120 days on market. All right. And then next, what we're going to do is I want to trim it a little bit more. And let's scroll down here. So this isn't going to be quite low equity, but let's see. Okay, yeah, that was the setting that bumped off 600,000. All right, so with our current filters, we're at 1,500. Now I'm going to add one more just to see if we could trim our list a little bit better. Because ideally, you're creating this list enough for the entire month, and then you're starting your email campaign. You're initiating it so it's scheduled for your whole month. Um, and so I know for our buy box, we want at least 3 beds. And let's see how much that dropped our list by. So we're at 1,300. And then there isn't really a goal number. If we're going to schedule the emails for 30 days, we're probably shooting for like somewhere around 1,000, maybe up to 1,500. That way we're sending, roughly 50 emails a day, um, give or take. And so I don't want to trim it much more. But one other thing because something to keep in mind is sometimes the bed bath isn't going to be perfectly accurate. But let's see. There's one other thing With this, I try not to get too caught up in the loan to value because we can do like seller finance, we can do hybrids. The main thing is they've been trying to sell for at least 4 months. And so they're pretty motivated. And so let's see, I think one other thing, instead of market value, I want to do list price. 'Cause, yeah, I trust list price. Market value, I don't know how the algorithm's calculating that quite yet. Okay, so 1385, I'm going to look for one more to help trim our list closer to 1,000. Let's see. I think next, a lot of these are going to have loans. So I'm thinking next, let's do 5.5 as the maximum interest rate. And even this isn't going to be perfect. I believe I heard someone say recent that it's estimating the interest rate based on the time the loan was created. So I don't bank on it too hard. Okay, yeah, so that dropped our list below 1,000. Um, let's see, one other thing we can try. I try not to get into this too much yet because I don't know how accurate it is. All right, I think one last thing that we're going to do is loan to value. I guess technically this would be like a low equity list, but we'll do 70%. Okay, this is good. So you can see some of these will have HOA, some won't. But by filtering out the condos and the townhomes, we're at least minimizing the odds. I'm sure Deal Sauce is going to add it soon. But yeah, ultimately, this right here is a high demand for co-living. Um, like when you log in, this PadSplit here, this is essentially reverse engineering where I know it's a strong market. And so I'll just show a couple examples. We have a normal rental. We have a few properties south Orlando. We do have a PadSplit like southeast Orlando. But when you click on here, you can pick a zip code and you can see this is just, PadSplit.com. You open an account. I'll put a link in the description so it's just free. You sign up and then you'll be connected with one of the reps I like working with. But ultimately, you can pick a zip code and pretend that through Deal Sauce you found a property. You can go in, you can check out how strong the demand is there. Right. So this one, 34787. I typically like to underwrite everything conservatively. And on here, let's see, I'm going to show a calculator I use. I got this one from Michael Manotzkanian. Let's see. Yeah, these properties don't matter. But really, I'm going to fill a lot of this out, but just focus on this part right here. And this is what I'm going to fill out when I'm evaluating properties as they come in. So in short, let's recap real quick. You're pulling a list on Deal Sauce in a market that we know is strong because we've looked at Orlando. A lot of these zip codes, especially when they're near the major roadways, the major highways, they're pretty strong markets. So as you pull the list Deal Sauce, you're sending the emails and creating a campaign. And as deals are coming in, you can evaluate your buy box, or if you're bird dogging for buyers, hunting deals down for buyers. Typically, the co-living, they're going to want to see no HOA. There's no question about it. Just don't even mess with it. At least 3 beds, at least 2 baths, at least 1,700 square foot. And then if it checks out on all those, then you're coming in here and looking at the data. So yeah, I'm gonna be making a lot more content on this. Because ultimately, if you're pulling lists in strong PadSplit markets, and then you're creating your list so that it uh, PadSplit buyers or co-living buyers, it's meeting all the boxes. This is an excellent way to make some strong active income. Like on the thumbnails, I'm putting 15,000, and it's extremely reasonable. Like if you find a strong co-living property and you negotiate it with favorable terms, like subject to or seller finance, you can very easily do sell one property a month like this to buyers, or just keep it yourself. And then the really advanced people, they can find properties themselves, negotiate it, and then they bring on private money and actually charge an acquisition fee, um, and get so essentially get paid to buy the properties. And then last thing I'll say on this is when you do this right, your typical property, it's going to net once it's stabilized. It's going to net 1,500 per month. And so when I see 1,500 net, I'm saying a true, like after all your expenses. Like if you look in here, I'll zoom in a little bit. So if you look on this left side, this pad split model, after when you pull in all the revenue, because we are adding bedrooms, typically you're not going to keep the living room, stuff like that, the garage, you're going to convert it into more rooms. The pad split cash flow, so after your mortgage, your utilities, your property manager, vacancy, all that fun stuff, it should net 1,500 per month. And so that's why I wanted to show a video on how to pull this list, because there's a lot of demand for these types of properties. And so I buy them. I know a lot of people that buy them. So if you're looking to increase your active income, like this is an amazing list to pull. And if you have properties that you find through this, definitely hit me up. Um, Instagram's going to be the easiest. So any questions, just send me a DM on there.